I'm getting old. I'm gonna get me some money and I'm gonna spend it. I'm gonna get drunk and I'm gonna dance some more. I'm getting old. And I wanna fall in love one more time before I die. I'm sick and tired of wasting time and worrying about whether I live naked in the cold or die like an animal.
Good afternoon and welcome back to My Harlem Portraits, the show that aims at shedding the light on the fundamental contribution of African Americans to the building of this country and on Black excellence. To represent Black excellence in the utmost way today, we have a Emmy, Tony, SAG Awards nominee and AUDELCO Award winner, stage, film, and TV, legendary actor, singer, and dancer, who in 2014 made history, becoming the first African American Phantom of the Opera on Broadway, and is currently starring in the critically acclaimed masterpiece by Lonne Elder III, Ceremonies in Dark Old Man. Welcome. We have a great pleasure of welcoming to My Harlem Portraits, Mr. Norm Lewis.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. I saw
Yeah.
the play yesterday and I loved it.
Oh, good, good.
It was
Yeah, it's a very interesting.
fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece, and you are really incredible in that. Like the whole cast is really wonderful. I want to start from the first time I saw you, because the first time I saw you was on Broadway in The Phantom.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was
All
my first time seeing you, and I thought it was absolutely an amazing, amazing production. I loved it. I was
right.
so used to go to Broadway at the time, because I just arrived in New York. I just moved to New York. So
Uh,
it was incredible. How did it feel for you to break one of the great white way Broadway's barrier?
well, for me, it was just a job. I was happy to be employed, and when the opportunity came around, I definitely wanted to give it my all to audition for it and to give the creators what they wanted, and luckily it worked in my favor. But yeah, for years I loved that show. I loved the music, and I wanted to play the Phantom. And I thought maybe I would have to be a star to get any kind of recognition. You know, Robert Guillaume, who was the first African American to ever play the role. I stand on his shoulders, and he was a star. He did movies and television and film and Broadway. But yeah, luckily, dreams do come true no matter how long it takes.
And that's wonderful because it came true and it came true in a wonderful way, in a pretty interesting way.
Yes, truly.
You have an impressive and long-spanning career that embraces both, like I said, film, TV, and theater, on and off Broadway and in the West End. As it's impossible to mention everything, I will just say a few things, and I'll ask you after this to tell me um, what of the achievement, what of the roles and the moments that you consider like turning points during your career, or the most rewarding ones, or the most challenging one?
Good question. Several questions, layered.
Yes.
But what I would say, all of them were very rewarding. I can't pick one in particular that was like that's my standout. What I will say is that what did give me some credibility on the Broadway stage was a show called Sideshow. People started noticing me. I had a featured role in that show. It didn't last that long, maybe 3 months. but it was critically acclaimed and people and became a cult favorite. So people remembered me. There's a recording, a cast recording of it. So that helped with my career. A couple of other things. There was a show called Sondheim on Sondheim. That was my ninth Broadway show at the time. And believe it or not, people came to see the show who afterwards would meet me and say, I've never heard of you. But now I'm glad that I do know who you are. So that was rewarding. And obviously being nominated for Porgy and Bess with Audra McDonald, getting a Tony nom and being recognized that way. And then Les Mis, I did Les Mis, playing Javert. I think I was the first African American to ever play that role on Broadway, and then to get the Phantom. So those are standouts, but literally all of the shows that I've been in have been very rewarding. The most challenging, okay, let me answer that. The most challenging show I think would be the Phantom. Yeah,
And
because I'm a baritone. They usually hire tenors to sing that role because it is so challenging in that register. And luckily I made it through. I did it for 9 months, but it definitely was a very challenging role for me.
and moments we were challenging or satisfying around the different shows.
Oh, yes. I mean, as an artist, you want to do your best. As you know, I played sports growing up, I played tennis and things like that. So you want to be able to do your best. And once you get past a certain point, and if you do well, it is very rewarding. And you went through that challenge and you were like, okay, I can conquer anything. And so it's satisfying when you are able to have a show where you know you did your best and you know that the audience is satisfied. And then it's good when you're satisfied too.
And I've seen you not only on theater, but I've seen you also in your concerts, like for example in 92nd Y not so long ago.
Right, yeah, yeah.
That was amazing. And then I saw you when I was coming out from the Louis Armstrong show.
Oh,
You,
Dee Williams, yes.
you were doing something at 59 below.
54 below, 54 below.
54 below, sorry.
Yes.
You were doing something there, your own concert also. So this is another thing you do. You do your own concerts. And you have two albums recently.
Yes, I do. Yeah. And hopefully a third one will be soon. So we'll see.
So I'm just gonna mention a little bit of those you didn't mention. For example, the Two Gentlemen of Verona and The Tempest,
The Tempest, yeah, that was in the park. Yeah. Yes.
Ragtime and Girls, then the off-Broadway production of Sweeney Todd, where you play Sweeney, and Dessa Rose, for which you received two AUDELCO Awards,
Yes.
Miss Saigon, The Who's Tommy, and Once on This Island.
Yes. Yes.
And in film, we must talk about the iconic Spike Lee's The Five Bloods.
Yes. Yes. I was so first of all to work with Spike Lee, he doesn't call his films films. He
Mhm.
calls them their joints. So it's a
Yes.
Spike Lee joint. But yeah, it was such a great crew of people out there and we shot it in Thailand and then we also shot a lot of it in Vietnam where the action of it took place.
Right.
And yeah, the Five Bloods. It was a fun thing to be in a film, and it was a big blockbuster film. The only problem was for us was we shot it in 2019, and we were supposed to uh, premiere it at the Cannes Film Festival.
Mhm.
But 2020 is when everything shut down. So we never made it to the Cannes Film Festival, and we also never made it to theaters. So we had to rely on television, the Netflix people to present it that way. And it's still on Netflix, so you can
Yeah.
still go and see it. But we did get nominations. We did get some SAG nominations and some other major Golden Globe nominations, things like that.
I saw it and it's fantastic. I saw it recently. It's really, really good. I loved it. I was laughing and at the same time it's very dramatic and
Yeah,
beautiful,
yeah.
very beautiful. Okay, let's talk about today. Tell us a bit about the importance of this classical piece which is produced now by the Peccadillo Theater Company, the Negro Ensemble Company, and Eric Falkenstein. And is directed by acclaimed Clinton Turner Davis, who did Joe Turner coming on in the
Yeah,
Negro Elder Theater, among other things. And this is the first time in New York City in nearly 40 years.
right.
And he's
Yeah.
playing until June 29 at the theater at St. Clements. Why did you accept this? What made you say yes to this role?
Well, it's funny because I'm one of the few people in this world who never heard of the play until I was offered it. And so, knowing the history, just from the bare bones of knowing that it was part of the Negro Ensemble, I said, okay, I definitely want to be a part of this because I had just done a soldier's play a couple of years ago, and the legacy of what has transpired throughout the years from that great company, and wanting to know more about what they do and what has happened and things like that. Then, doing a deeper dive, I found out that they were, or the show was nominated for Pulitzer Prize.
Mhm.
I think it like was second runner-up or first runner-up or something like that. But the fact that it was nominated back in that day, in the late 60s, early 70s.
Mhm.
Um, Also, reading it, it was a beautiful story. It is a beautiful story that actually still translates to this day.
Yes.
And it's about our history that I know a little bit of and also can relate to because I know these characters. I know this is some of my family members and some of my friends. And I think also the fact that it is something that is universal. We've had a lot of people from different cultures and backgrounds who have said the same thing. Like, that's my uncle, and they happen to be Italian or Jewish or whatever.
Yes.
So they understand the subject matter and they understand the storyline because everybody, we all go through the same thing.
Mhm.
Knowing again the legacy of it, we had Denzel Washington was part of it. uh, uh, Billy Dee Williams, Laurence Fishburne, Glenn Turman,
Yeah.
uh, and just so many amazing people have been a part of this cast in different iterations that I said, I want to be a part of this legacy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's incredible. I didn't know that either. It's really amazing. Uh, can you situate a little bit in the historical place, which is in the 50s? And as you were saying that you recognize that, what kind of men are your character, Russell Parker, and his two sons, as opposite of the character of Adele, his daughter?
Right, right. So
About the
I guess,
complexity.
yeah, I guess to describe their complexity is the fact that here's a man, and I think we all go through this in some stage of our lives. Here's a man who had a little bit of success, he was a vaudeville performer. And he did it for many years. And in fact, in the beginning of his marriage with his family, that he supported the family. But then his legs gave out on him, and he's got bad knees, he's got bad feet, and he can't dance the way he used to and make money the way he used to. So he's transitioned to be a barber. So he thought that that would be a profession that he could at least create and be an entrepreneur and support his family, but he's not doing too well. And his wife starts working and she's making a lot of the money and she's basically supporting the family. And he's gotten used to that. Now the wife becomes ill and she ends up dying. The daughter comes home while the wife is ill and to help out with the family. She quits college and she takes over that role, especially when the mom passes away. So she becomes the matriarch of the family, taking care of the family, and she's sick and tired of it. She's like, I'm done. Somebody's got to get a job. They got to do something. It doesn't matter what it is, but find a job. The two boys, who are younger than the oldest girl, basically are falling into the father's footsteps and are not sure about where their path leads into this world. And, sometimes the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. A lot of people, you're influenced by your parents, you're influenced by your environment. And so they see that. And the eldest son is still searching for himself. He's a smart guy, but he's trying to find the easy way out. And the young kid he just is kind of floundering. He's floundering as well. He doesn't know what he wants to do, but he's following in his brother's footsteps. So it's a story about just generational feelings and generational ways of trying to navigate their way through life. But what ensues is making decisions that might not be the right decisions, but yet for a brief time they are living a different life and a high life and trying to just make it. I wish I could give you more of a definitive answer because it is a very complex story. But and I don't want to give away a lot of things either. But yeah, people need to come and see it. It's a beautifully told story, told through African American eyes, but it's a very universal story.
It is. And it's funny what you said that Italian, I'm Italian, and yes, I recognize some of those characters.
Truly, truly, we're more alike than different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, in your view, why this place is regarded, you have answered in partially to that already, is regarded as an American theater classic play, which, as you said, has featured Denzel Washington, Billy Dee Williams, Keith David,
David, yeah.
and how he developed from the 69 Negro Ensemble premiere off-Broadway. He became, as you said, a runner-up for the Pulitzer Prize for drama, an award-winning, long-running commercial production, and
Mhm.
it was also adapted as a television movie in 1975.
Yeah, yeah. Which I still haven't seen yet, and I'm holding off from seeing it until we finish the run, but because I don't want to steal any ideas. But yeah, it's one of those shows like, the revival of Gypsy is back and people love it. Different revival, Sunset Boulevard. It's told in a different way, but people when a story is good, it's good. It will translate to, I think, any generation, and I think that that's what's wonderful about this show, is that people, even though it was about the 1950s, written in the 1960s, but I think people can relate to it, and because a lot of these things are cyclical. A lot of the language that we were talking about actually, unfortunately, has kind of come back. When we're dealing with what is happening politically and socially in our society right now, some of those same things that we were talking about in the play are now being told
Yeah,
in today's society.
yeah. Unfortunately, we are in a horrible political situation, I would say.
Yes.
And I think that what you're doing with the arts is really what can bring people together.
Mhm.
I believe the arts are the main way, arts in general, music, theater, they bring people together, the sports. And
Absolutely.
so what actors do is very, very important. How do you feel as an actor having a responsibility of representing a certain part of the society and representing what the best should be,
Mhm.
and also request for respect for all
Right.
of us?
Yeah, the thing about it is, if you notice, they're trying to shut down a lot of what we have, the NEA, National Endowment for the Arts. And that was one of the first things that we won't mention his name, but the German guy did. And because they know that art is very important and art translates and tells a story and can communicate in a way that no one can explain. And so that's one of the first things that they try to get rid of. And so that's kind of repeating itself right now. But art will always prevail. And so I feel as an actor, as an artist, that it's a very important role that I hold on to, and a responsibility that I'm ready to fight with.
And you are doing it pretty well, I would say.
Thank you.
You have also a foundation. You are one of the founding member of the Black Theater United.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this organization, which is really,
Well, it's 5 years old now, because we started back when George Floyd was killed and during the pandemic. So we were all kind of shut down and only relying on this thing called Zoom, which has blown up. But there was a moment in time where people felt that they didn't have a voice. And after George Floyd's death, they were like, okay, that happened to him. Let me tell you what happened to me in my industry, in my world. And there was a lot of anger being thrown around and a lot of finger pointing. And so my friend LaChance and Audra McDonald got together. They were talking amongst themselves. And then they said, this is a bigger conversation and we need to reach out to our friends. And so it was, I forgot how many people were on that Zoom that night, but we lasted for at least 5 to 6 hours just talking and trying to figure things out and trying to strategize. And so we decided that night to create an organization called Black Theater United. We didn't know the name at the time, but we wanted to create an organization and use our influences and use our network to have conversations, to make sure that we talk to the right people, theater owners and producers. And so from that, we developed 501c3 over that period of time where we were still under the pandemic. We actually did something I find very historic. We had a summit where for 6 months we literally talked to everyone in the industry,
Wow.
theater owners, producers, creatives, heads of unions, musicians and actors and stage management and things like that. And we just made sure that we said, listen, uh, I want you to f feel free. This is a safe zone. Say what you want to say. And, people from different backgrounds and tell us how you feel. And then we will let you, as Black people, let you know our experience and how we understand what you're going through. And so it lasted for 6 months. There were some heated debates. There was some, and but we came out shaking hands, virtually. And and then we came to a conclusion where it's something called the New Deal. And the New Deal, it's not the Constitution of the United States, but what it is, it's an agreement amongst all of these people that we talk to hold each one accountable, to let people know that there are other people to come to the table, to have ideas, to create a space for people who don't normally get a chance to sit at that table. And it's been working now for the past 5 years. There's a small window that we had to get in there, but and even we're still kind of making sure that we let people know that we're still here, kind of thing, because what's been happening with DEI and how it's had a negative stamp on it, and we want to try to change that because it's a powerful, positive thing. Anyway, that we can go to that's a whole nother thing. We can have another interview with that. But I just want to say that Black Theater United is doing some great things educationally. We have mentorship programs. We are definitely reaching out to the community and work with other organizations like ourselves, Broadway Advocacy Coalition, Broadway Theater Coalition, the Black Men of Broadway.com, Broadway's Black Men, I think. Oh, now I'm getting confused, but there are other organizations that are saying the same thing we're saying, and so we collaborate with them, and it's been wonderful.
And it is fantastic because unity is the most important thing.
Yes, unity. Yes,
Because what they want to do is to divide us in every possible way.
right,
And what you are doing, connecting, not only creating an organization which already unites people, but connecting to other united
right,
people is
right.
really fantastic. So thank you for that. I didn't know all that. So one last message to, first of all, to the people who are will come to see this show. What, for those who saw it, what do you want them to take home? And for those who are coming, why should they come and see the show?
Well, first of all, thank you to the people who are coming, and we welcome the people who want to come, who are thinking about coming. Like I said before, it's a very important piece. It's a family drama. There's a little bit of comedy that's in it. So you'll be entertained, but there's a message of we all go through the same thing. We are at times in our lives, we know that we have to make a decision. We come to a fork in the road, and it's trying to make that decision of which one to go. And there's no right or wrong answer. If you choose the wrong one, you'll learn from it. If you choose the right one, you'll be rewarded. And that's basically what this show is about. It's about love. It's about unity. It's about, even though there's rocky times within our family unit or even in our friend units, you still can make it through if you work through it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for this interview. For those who want to come and buy the tickets, go to thepeccadillo.com
Mhm.
and you can get tickets there.
Yeah, yeah. You might want to spell it for them. The Peccadillo.
Yeah. THEP as in Paul, ECCADILLO.com.
Perfect.
So much, Mr. Norm Lewis. Thank you for all you've done in your career and all you're doing.
Thank you so much. And finally, we get to talk. Maria,
Finally,
thank
we got to talk.
Well,
Oh,
you know what? Oh, go ahead. You say
I
something.
didn't ask you what's next.
Oh, there's a lot on the table. There's something I can't mention just yet because it hasn't been announced yet. So,
But it's
but,
there. That's
but there
important.
is something coming up that I will be doing this summer. It's a brief little thing, and then I have some concerts coming up that will be either on my website at normlewis.com or I'm at the Norm Lewis at Instagram, so it'll be mentioned there. But I will leave you with this one thing. You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
The most beautiful sound I've ever heard, Maria.
Oh, wow. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. And that's my favorite movie. I
Yeah,
love that movie. That and Black Orpheus are my two favorite movies.
yes.
Wonderful.
And I want to also give honor to Chadwick Boseman. That's the name that we were
Yes.
thinking of. Chadwick
Chadwick
Boseman,
Boseman.
we love you and rest in peace, but just know your legacy still lives on, my friend.
I loved him. He was amazing. Everything he did was amazing. In his brief life was amazing.
Yes.
Thank you so much again for
Thank
this
you.
conversation, and thank you to my viewers. See you next Saturday, 12:30 on Spectrum, channel 1993, MNN HD, or on my YouTube channel, My Harlem Portraits. Bye-bye.